Hi guys, welcome back to another session with me. Today we are recreating one of my old works. So I was thinking of what to record for this week, and it occurred to me to ask in my small WhatsApp group where I have a few number of creatives who are interested in learning Cinema 4D there. So I asked that if they have any work in mind can share, or they can look at any of my old works and then we can recreate it together. So this was one of them that popped up, and then I decided to recreate it. And I want you to know that this project was a fun project for me. So not everything was modeled from scratch. Some of them were assets I got from certain sites, and some of them were also assets that I got from Cinema 4D library. And if you don't know, there's a library in Cinema 4D where you can download a few stuff to add to your scene. And so the very thing we are going to do today is do this project and finish it in Photoshop. So the background, which is the sky, was done in Photoshop, and a little color grading inside Photoshop. So let's just get inside Cinema 4D and see what we can create. But then, if you have been watching my tutorial and they have been helpful to you, kindly leave a comment, or you can also tag me with what you've been able to create so far watching these tutorials, and that will be very helpful for me to keep on creating new ones. This is Cinema 4D. If you are new to this channel, we learn about Cinema 4D basic stuff, and this is the interface of Cinema 4D. And so today, where project that we are going to recreate, we have this shape, which is the Earth shape, which was created with a sphere, and these were assets that I downloaded, but I don't know where I can find it, so we'll try and recreate it. I have some few textures there that we can use to recreate this, and a few greens, vegetations added to it. The chips, we'll download it. I already have it downloaded. I will point you to wherever I downloaded. And if you want to use the same asset that I used, you can comment assets and I'll share a link with you for you to download the assets. And so we are first of all going to create the sphere with our primitive shapes, which is on our right side here. Click hold and then click on sphere. Now we have a sphere in our scene. The sphere has rough edges, so we are going to increase the segments in the attributes panel. The segments will increase the segments, and now the sphere is smoothed out. Now the next thing we are going to do is to add a deformer to it, which is also on the same panel for the primitive shapes. So this one right here, the first deformer you will see is a bend. When you click and hold, we have other options. Now we are going to use displacer. We click on displacer, and then this displacer is in our objects panel, and so we are going to make the displacer a child of the sphere. We'll click and hold and hover it on the sphere, and the minute we see an arrow pointing down, it means we can now make it a child, so we can leave the mouse. Now nothing seems to be happening because there are a lot of things to tweak before we can get the sphere looking different. So the next thing we are going to do is click on the displacer and go to shading, and on the shading we go to shader, and then there's an arrow pointing down. We click on it, and then it is giving us options for us to choose from. So now we are going to select noise. At the moment we selected noise, the sphere is beginning to have a shape or a form. So we are going to smoothen out. This looks very rough, and so we are going to work around the shader to make it look better. So we'll double click on it, and from the attributes panel we are going to increase global scale. We increase global scale, and now this is what we are getting for the sphere. It looks like the work looks like a ground earthy feel, and then the earth can look all smoothed out. There are some parts which obviously will be bumpy, and other side looking in other shapes or different forms. Yeah. The next thing we are going to do is go to objects and try to increase the height a little bit. Now I feel this is okay, and we need to start. Okay, the next is to bring in the bag, the pouch. The pouch, I got it from the C4D library or asset library, which is on our right, on our left. This icon here, when you click on it, you have this opening for you, so you can put in a search, and then some options will pop up for you to pick from. So we are going to type pack. Wait for it to load. So you need internet access to use these things. Now from here we are seeing a lot of them which we can use. So we are going to click and drag. At the moment you click and drag, it will download for you. We are not seeing it because it's probably small or our earth is big. So we'll decrease the earth, and when we decrease it, it's taking away the shape and then the deformation with it. So we are going to increase the pouch instead. Now the pouch came with a material which is making it dark, so we'll delete the material, and now rotate the pouch. We'll rotate the pouch and move it up. It looks very big. We'll have to decrease it again, and then rotate it again. Now we have this. We have to be referencing the main work to see what was done. And the next thing I'm going to do is to hide the pouch for now and see if we can recreate the potatoes. Like I said, I don't have the models that I downloaded, so we have to recreate it. So I'll open a new scene, and with the primitive shape side we are going to go for capsule, which is this one, this option. Click on it and reduce the size, no, rather add some segment to it. And try to reduce the size. And we are going to add a displacer again to this one. We'll make it a child and go to shading and shader noise. We'll have to increase the number of the noise, and also increase the segments. It looks very rough, so we'll have to decrease this one. and I feel this is okay. I don't know about you guys, so we'll have to merge this, connect, right click, connect objects, and then click on it and then hide this one. So now this is complete. We can copy it and come back to our scene, come and drop it. I don't think, okay, it looks too big, so I'll decrease it. Now I will rename the potato. This is our potato. Now I'm going to clone the potato and then make this one the main object so that it will be cloned to attach itself on the earth. You might not get what I mean until we start doing something. So on this panel we are going to look for clone, which is this icon right here. Click on it and then this time around make the potato a child of the clone. Now we have several numbers of the potatoes created, but this is not the way we want it to look like. And so we will go and click on our clone, and in the mode we have grid. We don't want grid. We are going to look for objects. So we'll click on objects and it seems to be missing. Now we have to tell the potato what it should be cloned on. And so in the attributes panel we have objects. We will have to carry or drop the earth inside it. So we'll click, hold and drag and drop it. Now we see it has been attached to the earth, and so we have to still adjust it to make it feel right. So transform here in the attributes panel. We'll go and then play with some of the options here to see which one works. And I would like to decrease the potato a little bit, and also with increase the count for the potato. So I'm going to increase it a little bit. The next thing I would like to do is they seem to be attached and then there's no spacing inside it. We are going to use a field to make it look right. I don't know the actual word to use for it, but then you will see what will happen. And so we'll click on our cloner, and way down underneath the bend icon we click and hold on the next icon and we look for random. And so when we click on random, you will see that something is happening in the scene, and this is still not what we want. And so we are going to our attributes panel. We can increase the strength here, but still that's not what we want. So from the attributes panel we'll go to parameters and then zero out the position. Now we want to do rotation, random rotations, and then also do scale. So with the scale we want to use uniform scale. Click on scale and then give it a number, let's say 0.5. And so with the scale, when we do that, some of the potatoes it will bring variation inside the potatoes. We like to use a smaller number so that we can get a good representation of what we are doing. The potato still looks off, so we are still going to try and then work around it. I'm not too sure what Let me do the cloner. Okay. I will probably decrease. Okay. So this is up to you or whoever is creating the scene to adjust the numbers to get something that feels right. If it doesn't feel right, then we will have to find a position which works to put our potatoes. And so let me go and increase the count again. Probably work around the seed to see which one is not intersecting with the other, because at this point adjusting the seeds will help. I'm still increase the number. We'll obviously hide some part of it, so yeah, this should look okay. Now the next thing is to bring back our bag and try to do some positioning here. And so we are going to already create our layout. So we'll go inside the rendering options or render settings, go and choose the output size, and I'm going to go for a print portrait, which is A4. Then I'll scale it in, and we are going to use Corona for this work, so I'm going to bring in a Corona camera. Go to the top and select Corona and then Corona camera, and I'll look inside the camera. Now whenever you bring a camera inside the work, this option here is not selected. Then whenever you select it too, it means you are looking through the camera. So when you click on it, you are looking through the camera. Now go to the focal length, and then as usual I'll go for tele, and then try to adjust the scene to my preference. And also adjust the bag. And then bring it down a little bit. Now I think we are almost there. The next thing we are going to do inside this work right now is to texture, and then we are going to make use of Cosmos Chaos. So we'll click on Cosmos browser, wait for it to load, and now go and select or download certain things that will help us with our scene. So I'll go to materials and go and get ground. Look for something that looks very earthy, and then go and then drop it onto our earth. I might probably go for this, so I have to download. Once the material is done downloading, we can now import straight into Cinema 4D. And so when you hover on the material, there is an arrow icon with a green background. You click on it, and then from here it says Asset Import in Progress. it is done. So we'll go back to Cinema 4D and go to the material section at the top here, click this icon, and then the material has been brought into our scene. So I'll just drop it onto the sphere. We can't see the quality of the whole thing because the preview is at a lower number. So we'll double click on the material and go to preview and increase the number for the preview. Now we get to see what is happening. We'll look outside the camera, and now the material we brought has been attached or has been added to the scene very well. And so we'll go back to looking through our camera. Next thing I'm going to do is to texture the potato, the one that we created. And so there is a texture in here for the potato. I'm going to create some. So Corona material, click on it and then go for legacy material. Corona can work with nodes, which a lot of us find it difficult to do, but then you can do legacy where you get JPEGs of your material, come and drop them, and then you create the texture. For beginners, this will work very well for us. And so for the first material, which is diffuse, we are going to drop inside it a diffuse material, which is usually the main image for the material. So click on yes, and then go to bump and come and drop one of these. I don't know which one will work, but it's the same thing, so just drop one of this inside the bump. Then I'll go to displacement and come and drop the next one, which is this, inside displacement. Now when it came, it's looking too big. Obviously the whole thing will look deformed, so I'll beat down the displacement to like 1, and then probably put the displacement material into reflection. Copy, then come to reflection, texture here, paste, and then glossiness, come to the material section for glossiness and then paste. Now let me go back, and then we are going to apply the material to the potato. So I'm going to name the cloner potato. Now I'll click and drop it on it, and whoa, we have something going on. But then there is a bit of trouble here, so we are going to go into attributes panel and then play around with the projection and see which one works. I'm going for a cube to see if it works. No, it doesn't. Obviously we are going to have a lot of problems right here, so let me see if we can fix it. Okay, yes, so with this we went to the top here, which is materials, and then scale down the texture, and I think it is working until probably we go into the render view to see what is happening there. But now we are not doing the render view right now, so if anything we'll come back and adjust it. The next thing we are going to look at is the texture for the bag, and so I'm going to select this and then go and look for my texture. So we have this and that. I don't know which one we are going to use, but I feel like the one I did was the red one, but we can try the yellow to see. But then okay, first of all, create a material first, then go into the material and then drop the material inside the diffuse. If anything, we can change it later if the whole thing fits. Now I'm going to drop it onto the bag, and now this is what we have, which is not what we want. We want the face of this thing here, logo here, to look in front, but then the preview number is small, so it's looking pixelated. So we'll go and increase the preview, and now try and adjust the logo. Now go back into our view and then try and see if we can, okay, this is going to distort. Okay, that's it. We will just adjust the offset and try and increase this. A little adjustments here will work. Now I feel this is okay. Let's go and check the back. Yeah. Okay, there's a little bit of mess going on here, but then we are obviously not showing the back. Okay, let's see if we can fix that. Let me undo what was done initially. Oh, it looks like it's actually a problem from, let me see. Okay, it's a problem from the material itself, so that is not on us. So I have to go back and redo and see if I can get what I did back. Yes. And now this is what we have, and we are almost good to go. The last thing we are going to do with this earth right here is to go and find some, what do we call it, grasses and leaves, whatever we call it, or flowers, to come in and add to it to make it complete. And then we'll add our lighting to it to help finish the scene. So we are almost getting there. So we'll go back to Cosmos, Chaos Cosmos, go to vegetations. Ooh. Okay, looks like our vegetations are looking pretty cool. So I'm going to get some grass. Let me type. Okay, I'm going to download. And so we have, let me see if I can get some that have like some flowers attached to it to help. If not, we are going to go with these two grasses. Let me just import them. And let me go back. Flower. Let's see if we can have some cute flowers. This will do. Import it as well, and then go back to our scene. Look outside the camera. The moment you download, it comes with the materials. These are the materials, so we'll have to look for it. And then put them all, I don't know where they are at the moment. Okay, this is it. And that is this. I actually imported another one, but it didn't seem to have come. Okay, so it was these two. Now I'm going to create a cloner and then put these inside them. So these to this inside the cloner, and now go to attributes panel mode and do object. Then the object is going to be a sphere once again. Then we see that it has already been attached in some way, or undo and go and create corona scatter. So corona at the top here, chaos scatter, drop these inside it, and now choose the earth as our scatter plane. So we'll click on the eyedropper tool here, and then select the sphere to scatter it. Now it's the way it's looking, you are seeing just wireframes of the whole thing. We can go off here, change the viewport display to from wire box or wireframe to full, so that we can see what is happening. So this is what is happening, and we can increase the size of the grasses so that they can look a little bigger. And then we can also decrease the amount of the scatter, but then I feel it looks good. I don't know, but it looks good for me here. And so we will okay, I haven't saved the work. I will quickly save it. So I'm done saving, and now it's left for us to bring in lights into the scene to see what we are doing. So we'll go to our render settings, go and choose with the renderer, we'll choose Corona as our renderer, and then go and look for an HDRI from the Cosmos browser, an environment one, of course. And so we are going to look for something that has an environment inside it. So we download some of these. So once it is done downloading, I can import it. I'm going to try this first HDRI to see how best it's going to work for my scene before, if it doesn't work, I change it. I have the option to change it. I'm still downloading others, so when they are downloading and didn't work, we'll change it. And so we'll go into our interactive renderer to see what is actually happening in our scene. Now this is what we have, and it looks overly exposed. And so we are going to adjust the intensity of the HDRI. And also tell the HDRI that we don't need it to be visible in our background. And so we are going to disable visible direct, and it will take it off. Now the pack was glossy, so with the materials we are going back to the pack, and then enable reflection. Then with reflection enabled, we'll beat down the glossiness a little bit, then we are done. Now if you look inside the rendering, see that now it has some sort of reflections. There is another thing we can do, and yeah, I've forgotten about the what do we call it, the chips. So the chips, I downloaded some from Envato. We could have created it, but then this one too, I'm going to use what I got from Envato. So this is what I got from Envato. It is already textured, but then I'm going to convert the textures into Corona, and then so that we can use it in Corona. So go to Corona, convert scene, and then convert. Now everything here has been converted into Corona. And so we'll copy everything and then go into our scene, click in the object panel and then drop it. Now we don't seem to see it, and our textures are gone. So I'm going to go before that. These are my textures. Let me see if I can bring them back. Windows, Project Inspector. Some of them are missing. And so with Project Inspector on, I will select the missing materials, both of them, right click and then tell it to relink. Now it's going to take me back into my scene, my file explorer, to search for the okay, a minute. I'm sorry, I had to go off. So I've relinked them. So to relink, Windows Object Asset Inspector, and then you search for which ones are missing, right click, relink, go to wherever you've kept them, and then you relink them back to your scene. So now I think, yeah, I'm good to go with the potato chips. I don't know where they are, so I should find them. Okay, this is it. I'm going to put it into a cloner again for this one. Now, yes, they look scattered all over. Or I'll probably pick one of them because it obviously has a lot. So disable this and try and leave just like one of them. Or two. Okay, let me just leave one of them to do the scatter for me. Now, I don't like it like this, so let me see radial. The size of the cloner, okay. So with that, I'm going to increase, okay, let me go back to grid. Oops. Let me go back to grid. And then bring in, click on cloner and then bring in a random field. Now, with the random field brought in, we can adjust the rotations to get different angles. And also we can scale it back in a little to see what is happening. And it's still not okay, so I'll go back to the, let me try radial to see. No. go back to grid. Actually increase the size and then go back looking inside the camera. Bring it down a little bit. With the rotation still on, we need some different rotations, and then we'd like to scale it back in. Go this way, and then still on the randoms, we go to parameters and then choose a scale. Then with a scale, we'll choose uniform scale, then give it a number 0.5. no, so let's do like -1, or probably 2. Okay, so now this is what we have, and I feel this is better. This is really okay. So the next thing we are going to do is to set the depth of field for this. And so with the camera selected, our focal point, or our focus, is going to be on the bag. So we'll drop the bag inside the space. Now go to the corona tag on the camera, and then turn on, go to depth of field, then turn on depth of field. Now come back to settings and then increase your f-stop. So I'm going to give it like 4 to see what is actually happening. Now let me start the rendering and interactive renderer again to look at what is happening. So there's a lot of lights inside our scene, and I like to adjust the lighting again because I'll bring in an actual light. The depth of field seems not to be taking effects like how I want it, so I'm going to increase it to like 2. The HDRI, decrease the number of the HDRI. Okay, no. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a light behind the work, but then I'll go off the interactive rendering and do an actual render to see what is happening. So there are 2 types of render buttons here. So we have, this one is interactive rendering, which gives you a low res so that your machine can pick whatever is happening, and the next one is start production rendering, which is your actual rendering. So I click on that to see what is happening, because what I want is not what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing if the depth of field is actually taking effect. So in this way, it will give me a quality render for me to see what I'm dealing with. Yeah, it looks like it is happening. It is actually happening. It is taking effect. And I think I'm going to add some more potatoes to this work, or possibly beat down the flowers. I don't know. It seems a bit off for me. The depth of field is working. It's actually working. See, these ones are blurred out. Yes. So the work is almost, we are almost done. We are done, not even almost. Yeah, we are done. So I have to bring in the extra lights that I was talking about. And so go out of my camera and bring in Corona lights. Now when I brought the lights, this is it. So rotate it like that, and then take it to the back. I want the back to be lighted, and then when I bring the lights like this in the rendering, you might possibly see it inside my rendering there. So we'll have to disable it from being seen in camera. So visible direct, disable it, and it has gone out of the scene. So I have to bring back this and then try to position it in such a way that the back of my work will be lighted. And I think I'll have to also do a little bit rotation on the HDRI. Okay, this is not helping, but I think that the other one helps. I don't want a lot of light in the front. Okay. Alright, so I think I'll take it like this and still adjust my light. Adjust my light to fit inside my scene. So let's see what I am getting here. And I think that will be it for now. We'll have to render the final output, and then, like I said, a little bit of photo manipulation in Photoshop. And so we'll go and check the render output if every settings we have here is okay for us. And I would like for it to be a PNG. The black spaces, the back should have no background. And so I'm going to go to save and then change the format here to PNG and then enable alpha channel. That is going to give us a background without a background. And then go to Corona settings and set a pass for this. So with Corona, if you don't set a pass, your rendering will continue till eternity. So you make a test render for the production rendering, see which number the rendering gets to where you feel like the quality is good enough for you. Now you stop the rendering, and then the number it got to, you come and put it into the pass limit. So for me, I feel like usually 15 works, 10 to 15 works for me. And so I'm going to put in a number 15. Then the last thing I'm going to check is denoising. So I'm going to check Corona high quality. After that, I'm done for that. I'm not going to add to resolution. The resolution is okay for me. I'm good. And then now hit on my production rendering. Wait for it to finish rendering and take it to Photoshop to do the extra manipulation. And so with the Photoshop, I think I'm going to go through the old work that I did, and then we will look at what I added to make the work look good. So catch you in Photoshop when the rendering is done. So we are in Photoshop. This is the initial work that I created, and this is the one we've currently created. And so these are the things, the layers I had inside the work. I have like so many images. So they are sky images which I brought inside. And let's see if we can do something different with this one. We will just copy them, go and post them here. And I think I added what do we call it, an effect to it, kinda. So some few adjustments in Photoshop and then we are done. Yeah, so there was a motion blur added to the sky. And then overlay was used. But I think in this case, I want to readjust the sky. Probably go for this one. And then I added a lens flare. So I'm going to copy it, put it here to make the sky look. No, I think I'll go back to the overlay. It looks off. Let's see which one works. Okay. Now I'm going to edit this. Go to filter and then camera raw. Increase that. Increase this as well. Increase the whites a little bit. And then yeah, that's it for now. Then I think, what else? Okay, so I darkened the front. So I'm going to add what was it? Wait. Okay. It was actually, I've changed laptops. So this is actually an extension that I brought. So we have dodge and bend. Oh, so this is what I'm going to do. Copy all of them, then send it. Then delete these and then redo it. Add them back. Then okay, that's my brush. Okay. Dodge and bend. Which one is this? Okay, this is the dodge. The bend has taken a lot. So I'm going to redo the whole thing again. Decrease the opacity to the burn. And do a little bit for this side. The sky is looking off. I don't know if it's because of, okay, I have to reposition my sky again. And then with the burn, let's see if it is okay. This one is I've misplaced them. This is actually Dodge. So I'm going to increase the burn. I just want the back to have a lot of light, and also burn this one. Because I do a more Dodge. This side will probably be dodged. Yeah, so basically these are the things that I did. I don't know if okay. This I can't now go and look for the extension that I used, so I'm going to copy it straight out. And this one, since we are burning, I'm going to burn this one. The base here is going to be more burnt, a little bit dodged. Top is dodged. Yes, so basically this is what I missed. Yes, and this. So I filled I did bring in a solid color, which was red, and then I think I changed, yes, to overlay a little bit, overlay, inverted the color, and now used my brush to brush in with these ones. Let them have some reds. Let them have some reds. Yes. Oops. Okay. Not here. But then basically that is it, and I'm still having issues with my background. Let me see if I can change the blend mode for this. Okay, it seems not to be working. I think I'm leaning in towards okay. And basically this is it. Then the last thing that I added was what do we call it? Color lookup for everything. Oops. What have I done? A color lookup for everything. So I'm going to see if there's any that works for my entire scene. If not, I'm going to import one from my files. I'm actually going to lean in towards any of these ones. Oops. I like colors. I don't know, but then nuns, it was just one that seemed to be working for me, so I'm going to look for it back. Okay, so now it doesn't look okay for me, so I'm going to look for one from my files. So I have something here which I usually go for, and I love these. I got it somewhere online, forgotten. What's the name? There's this one. I just lower the opacity a bit. And I think I'm still not okay with my sky. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do with my sky. Give it some curves to brighten it up. Okay, I love this. Yes, I think I might not even need, I don't need it. So pretty much this is what I did, and then if in case you have any text to add to it, this can be used for probably a signpost, a billboard or something which is looking cool. I don't know if there is any text that you might want to add. You can probably add it somewhere on the corner, a few texts. Oh yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. So I would love to see what you do, and then do well. If you are able to go through with this tutorial, do well to tag me on my socials. I will leave it inside the description, and so that when you are done, you can tag me. I would love to see it, so that this will be some sort of an encouragement to keep creating or to keep recording these tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and then see you in the next one. Bye.